welcome to Social with Christine Gritmon. Every week I broadcast live Fridays at noon, talking about social media with someone who's a professional in the social media space or a small business owner or whoever. And today I've got Robert C. Stern, the social leader. So you can guess what category he fits into. Robert, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that I came up with the word social in the type of it. I fell into social media about maybe 12, 13 years ago when I was a real estate agent.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, I started using it and started using it to build clients and to get clients and put out content. And then in 2009, I started training in my office how to use it, because for the first 2 years I heard, oh, don't do that stuff. It's a fad. It's not going anywhere. Stay with the open houses. Stay with the calls. Stay with, the normal real estate stuff. And I used this and built myself up to one of the top agents in the office. And next thing I know, all those same people came back. Could you help me understand? So I started training.
You're the social leader.
I started training, and then in 2000, halfway through 2010, 11, I started my company called The Social Leader, and that's all I do now is I train, coach, strategize. We do a little social media management, but I kind of veer away from it, which is funny because times have shifted now. And social media management isn't, to me, as big. It's more about learning and education. And
this is exactly the shift my business is going through. When I started, only in a year. When I started a year ago, all I wanted to do was manage the social.
Your mic is scratching against something.
Ooh. Let me move that around.
Sorry.
Hi. No, thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So when I started, that's all I wanted to be doing. I wanted to be just managing everyone's social. And then I got a bunch of that, and I realized that it's really hard to do it well for too many people at once. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't the best situation for myself or my clients. Now I'm also shifting more towards knowledge and sharing and learning and strategizing and coaching.
You know what it is? The larger companies have the ability to hire people to manage it. Mm-hmm. The Home Depots, the Chevrolets, all the major corporations. But when you're talking to the mom and pop, the restaurant,
which is who I am talking to always.
Exactly. The fitness instructor, the realtor, they don't have the funds, first off, cash every month necessarily, to pay for somebody for 30 days of content, 30 days of engagement, 30 days of graphics, 30, all this stuff. And that's one platform. And if they're on 2 or 3, it's multitudes.
Yeah.
And a lot of them do want to do it themselves.
And I feel like it actually turns out better when they do it themselves, because, you're in the guts of your business. You're there every day. You know what's happening with it. As opposed to me kind of dropping by, getting some shots, trying to figure out what's going on. It's best if, you have the pulse of your business, and that's really...
Well, think of it this way. There are a lot of companies out there right now that have these, and I'm saying companies, it could be individual or anything else, that have these huge blogs. Mm-hmm. And they don't write them. They have ghostwriters.
Yep.
And when I've met some of them, and then I go back and read, I feel like it's not the same person.
Yeah.
You as the company owner or the company spokesperson, or the company, if you're a sole proprietor, working for yourself, a realtor or whatever situation, you are the voice of your company. Nobody else can come across as you. And that's why our conversation turning to video is huge.
Yes. Because nothing says, here I am on the face of the business, like... literally saying, here I am on the business.
See, as I said it, the sun has opened up on me.
Oh. I can still see you.
There you go. But it's true. It's video. Think of it as the 5 senses. Social media. There's the touch, the feel, the sight, the taste, and the hearing. Well, social media, if you think about it, covers those senses. What you hear, audio, podcasting, audio on video and everything. What you see could be the graphic images or the visual, what you feel, how the emotions and how you connect to the stories that these people are telling about a house, about a car salesman explaining about a car or maintenance and stuff, a
And you connect
restaurant.
with it so much more when it's a human there as opposed to just
So
like
those
someone
three
there.
senses, which are like the hugest ones, I mean, yes, there's smell and there's touch. That you can get to them afterwards once you've grabbed them on those three.
Yeah.
And you know, listen, Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and the older groups of the social media, I think it's funny that they're the old boys. You know, 12 years old and I'm old. They are the ones that we all did about, you know, graphics and reading blogs and everything else. So now that videos come into play, what took possibly 6 months to get to know somebody has now been shortened down possibly to a week or 2 weeks because of video and live streaming like this.
Yep. And people tell me they feel like they know me, and I love that. That's so my
you
thing.
and I mean, we met, what, a month before?
We met in person like once.
And then we met a month before that because we were going to both speak at the same place. And we came on a live stream one time to get to know each other and talk about the event with you know, with everybody. And then we met. But the thing was, because we had those live streams and video streams before, when we met, it was like we were friends already.
Yeah, it was like we were continuing a conversation, not making an introduction.
So what video and live streaming is doing is giving consumers, clients, possible consumers and clients, possible people that will refer to you. People forget that. It's not all just about what you're getting. It's you know, that target niche isn't buying from me, but they may be telling other people about you. So that's important too. And what's happening is they're getting to know you faster.
Yep. And that's huge.
And that's where this video and live streaming comes in. And unfortunately, not everybody is grasping it yet.
And people get frightened. I work with a lot of people who aren't into social media. They're not comfortable with social media. That's why they're talking to me. And there's a fear there. There's a fear of doing it wrong. There's a fear of making a fool of themselves. And there's a lot of fear. And when you add video to the mix, that compounds it exponentially. And people know that they should be doing video. People are hearing it everywhere. They're seeing it everywhere. They know they should be doing video. They're, first of all, afraid to put themselves out there. But second of all, they're not sure what to do. They say, well, I don't know what type of video to do. You know, it feels fake to them. It feels inorganic. Which is where you come in, talking about what the heck to do.
Yeah, because the two top things that always come into play is I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
You know, I got to fix my hair. I got to do this. I understand that, you know, we all have somebody in the family that when you're at your family gatherings and you're taking your pictures and and there's that one person always, I don't want to be in any pictures.
Yep.
You know, and that's normal.
Yeah.
And then the other question is, what do I talk about?
Yeah, that's huge.
And it's always amazing that people say that to me because I will now come back as another question back to them. Well, what do you talk about when people ask about your business?
Yep.
If you go to a networking meeting, if you go to a conference, if you're in retail, what do you talk about with the customers? Everything you do there, the only difference is now you're doing it on video, whether it's pre-recorded or live like this. Who cares? You're doing the same thing. So that fear of what do I talk about, it's amazing. It's like an excuse. It's not a true fear. It's I don't know what to do.
Well, here's the other thing that I hear when it comes to the what do I talk about, and to your point, you know, what do you say when people ask about your business? A lot of people feel, and to some degree rightly, that they don't want to just sell on their social media. They're like, oh, people don't like that. That turns people off. And, you know, to some degree I say, well, if they're liking your company, they know your company is trying to sell something. So to some degree, they need to not worry about that as much. But to another degree, they're kind of right. You don't want to just sell to people. You want to provide something that's actually engaging for people. So what are some actual engaging things that people can do no matter what they do on social media.
Well, the biggest things is talk about you in general. It doesn't have to always be in what you just said is. You don't want to be the ShamWow guy. And if you act now, well, you can, I'll send you two. We don't want that.
Hire me.
But I have the blog, which you know about, and I'm working on an extension of it of another 22, and we'll key it together, but it's just taking a little time to get it together. But there's so many things about a person's life and about their business. Now, I want to put this in a situation that everybody can understand. Let's say you own a home. And let's say you want to do some work on the home. Maybe you want to remodel your bathroom, your kitchen, or anything like that. So you call 3 or 4 contractors because you want to get quotes and see what they think and everything else. So one by one, they come in and they talk to you. Do you hire them because they gave you the best price? Do you hire them because they had the best idea? Or do you hire them because of the questions you ask them and you get to know and you get a good feeling about them?
That's
so
huge.
What happens exactly. So when you're coming on screen, yes, you want to tell, and it's all stories, by the way.
Yes.
Everything on social media is a story. If your cat is coughing up a hairball, it's a story.
It's all content. Life is content.
It literally is. You recently saw that I started doing now more, it's pre-recorded, but video on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I actually took from a leadership thought leader who's out in California, and he was doing this video, and I was watching him and everything else, and I was like, oh my God, that so relates to social media, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to relate it to social media, and then I credited him and gave him a link saying, please go watch his stuff. Everybody wants to do things easy. We all do. Come on. It's just a given thing. We'd love to wake up and check our phone and, ooh, wow, overnight, $20,000 showed up in my bank account. I love that. We'd all love that. But social media is just like any other tool, and video is part of it, that it takes work. When was the last time you did something easy and you got excellence out of it? So video is...
Interestingly enough, I feel like video is incredibly easy. Because the fact that
you're comfortable with it.
That's true. But instead of worrying about the phrasing and re-editing things a million times and getting the right picture and doing all these things, you can just put it out there. It's just boom, here it is. Video has that immediacy. And
so going back to those contractors, you asking them questions. How long have you been in the business? Do you have any people I can talk to that have used you? Do you live in town, or where are you coming from? Oh, you're in town? And what happens once right away? Oh, you're in town? You got kids? Oh, what school? You start to get to know that person.
Building rapport, and that really happens with conversation. I'm a big email girl, but no, you got to have actual conversations when it comes down to actually getting the feel of things.
So when you come on screen, talk about what's going on in your life. With your business. So maybe you have an employee. Interview them.
Yep.
Maybe you have customers that show up into your shop or that are clients of yours. I'll use the word again. Interview them.
Yep. Maybe you met someone who was also presenting at a social media day conference, and they have things to offer that might be of interest to your audience.
I don't know who would have thought of something like that. Only it's got to be the New York, New Jersey combination.
Yeah.
But it's tell a story. Listen. There are restaurants. Now I'll use this. This is a restaurant. This is a video. I have a couple of restaurants doing it. They're getting crazy engagement on it locally, but crazy engagement. If you're a restaurant and you have specials, wouldn't it be kind of cool on a live stream, not pre-recorded, to have the chef or the owner or the GM every morning at 11 o'clock, go live on your page, explaining the specials and what's in them because of allergic reactions, just in case, and having people ask, can you do it without that sauce? Can you do that? Can you imagine?
Brilliant.
So if you want to go to that restaurant, and let's say it's a higher end restaurant or even a lower end, it doesn't matter, modern every day, and you have those specials, and every day they can come on and do this. And what does it take? 10 minutes? That's a restaurant. There's something you could be
really
sharing.
the key. It takes just 10 minutes. You don't have to go out of your way to do video.
Not at all. You could be doing it throughout the day and then piece it together. How about the journey of a life of a social media entrepreneur? How about the journey of a life of a realtor during a day, what they have to go through?
Oh, that's a good idea. You should do that one.
Well, I'm a realtor. I'm not a realtor anymore, so I can't. But it's like, give the stories. Let people know about you. And then let's take it a step further. Everybody likes to help people. They're all involved in some sort of charity, whether it's a coat drive or a food drive with Thanksgiving coming up.
Or the Center for Safety and Change, which aims to eradicate domestic violence. Yeah.
Okay, so is there an office place for that?
There is.
So what would happen if they were doing some sort of charity event and you're involved and you jumped on and went, hey guys, I'm over here at the blah, blah, blah. We're doing our charity event, and you have somebody hold the camera maybe while you're doing things. You work at a soup kitchen and you're showing going on, and you can come down and help us too. They're always looking for donations. You don't talk business. All you're doing now is, believe it or not, wow, Christine's involved with that. That is so, so great. All I did was now, what I go talk about earlier, the senses, I just hit an emotion.
Yep.
And they're going to remember that Christine helps with domestic violence.
People want to work with humans. People want to work with good humans.
And that's why even live streaming I love better, because I'm trying to get, let's move, the sun's moving. It's not an eclipse day. I'm going to remember that Christine now works with domestic violence. So if I see some sort of event down here, I might shoot it over to her to let her know about it.
Yep.
Maybe they want, I remember charity events when a person got not hijacked, abducted and put in jail, and you had to bail them out. They had to raise bail for donations. And I remember being abducted one day. Of course, they ask you, and it's ahead of time. It's not like they show up at work and go, sorry, you can't work today. Yeah. But, I mean, imagine if they were doing those jail-a-thon things, and you could be live streaming these things. And now, believe it or not, on
That's a great idea.
On Facebook, when they do these live streams, did you know that you can put a donation button on it?
I love that.
So now I could be live streaming on their page, through their page. Hey, it's Robert C. Stern. I got jailed by MDA and I need help getting out. I need to raise $300 for MDA. See the donate button right there? Could you help me out?
That's a good idea.
Now, how does that affect your business? It shows you are human, like you said. It shows that you are.
It's also something that's not selling.
Exactly. And what happens is then you take that and you share it out on your business page and your other page. And people see that you're community involved. Another, get to know.
Yep.
Get to do those things. So video, there's hundreds of things you could be doing. Maybe you're building out a new place, new restaurant. I see people do this if you're writing a book. I just cannot get these things to stay in my ear. And this is what I love about live video. It happens.
It happens. It's nice. And now we know something about you.
Exactly. I dropped my earbuds. No, let's say you're building out a new space or you're writing a book and you bring the clientele and the consumers into play.
Mm-hmm.
I have choices between these three book covers. Which one do you like best?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to paint this wall over here next to the bar or next to the healthy area or whatever. I'm debating between this color, this little patch, and this little patch.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you like better? Well, if you bring your clientele into the process of a brick and mortar,
Mm-hmm.
when it's finished, don't you think they want to show up and see the final product that they had a say in?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So all these little things you could be doing for videos.
That's a good idea. In fact, I'm going to have a Christine Gritmon Inc. booth at the Great Nyack Get Together on September 16th in Memorial Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly don't know what I'm going to do in my booth. So I should probably put it out there. I should think up a few potential things and have a vote.
There you go. And what does that do? It creates engagement.
I won't even announce what won. People have to come and see.
Exactly. Come on, listen, I got everything set, and then you do a thank you at the end, the day before. Hey guys, I want to thank all of you for helping me set up my event through our videos in the past. It's tomorrow. It's at 10 o'clock. It's here. Why don't you guys come by and see how everything got put together that you helped decide to do?
And maybe one of the people who voted for the winning option gets a prize.
There you go. That's up to you.
But I have a lot of fun with video, so I'm a bad example.
Yeah, but that's what this is about. It's about just relaxing, being yourself, telling the stories of everything that's going on in your life. I'm not saying don't go on and show your son who tripped on scraped his knee. Those are not things that are talking about. But what I'm talking about is more, yes, it's business, but it's not. And there's an old saying that you can do on video. Sometimes when you're not selling, you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're doing is you're selling them on you.
Yep, you're selling yourself.
What's more important? I love people that tell me all the time, people coming out of school and then changing jobs, and they're like, nah, I could never do a sales job.
Mm-hmm.
I go, why do you say that? I'm not saying to get a sales job, but why do you say that? Oh, I don't like sales, rejection, and blah, blah. I go, well, let me ask you a question.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, let me ask a different question. Are you doing a lot of interviewing? And they go, yeah. I go, isn't interviewing sales?
It is.
Sometimes you get no's. Sometimes you get yes. And they're asking you tons of questions. And sometimes you're asking questions back about the job and about the company. So aren't you selling yourself every time you go out and do that?
Furthermore, in both of those situations, you could view rejections as, honing it to make sure you get the right yes. You don't want the wrong yes.
Correct. So video, and the thing is now, everybody's playing video on their platforms. Every platform's got it now. You can do video, obviously live stream and pre-recorded on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram.
I keep meaning to strip out the audio from these live streams and turn it into a podcast. I just have been too lazy.
I have a whole blog on that, how one 20-minute, 15-minute video can turn into 100 pieces of content to repurpose.
And that's the best thing about video. You kind of do it, and you can either do it and do it once and it took half an hour of your life, tops, or you can do it and you can spin it down to all sorts of things. These things, these live streams that I do every week, not only do I repost them on Facebook, I also repurpose them into a blog post. I repurpose them into a LinkedIn blog. I do try to keep the embed links directing to the Facebook so it drives traffic to one source. But for a little while, I was putting them on YouTube too.
And then you can tweet them out.
It's got such mileage. Yeah.
And like you say, your audio, make
and release pieces.
Do you realize, and one of the big things I used to take, I'll find a 30-second clip in one, and I'll break it into 3 clips of 10 seconds. There's your Instagram stories and Snapchat.
That's a very good idea.
So
all these things I keep meaning to do. I need my fall intern so I can do all this stuff.
She went away. Yes. She's not back till next summer.
I need a new one, but I'm not getting a new one for another month or so because, school needs to start.
Exactly. Mine just went off yesterday. She went up to college, so.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
My daughter.
Yeah, where is she?
She's at Cobleskill.
Cool. Is that far?
SUNY Cobleskill. It's up. It's by Schenectady.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably about an hour from you north.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Drivable.
So she's at Cobleskill freshman year. She got dropped off yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Got a picture last night, which I had to put up on my profile because she took her first shower.
Make sure she FaceTimes you, because again, back in the day when you had to write letters home from college, that's very different than being able to FaceTime and see their live and well video.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Actually, she's the funny one. My little one is all over. She's every day comes home, whether it's school or camp. Can we do Facebook Live today? Can we do a Periscope? That. Can we do Blab? Can we do Instagram Live? She's like social media heaven. Whereas my older one, she wants nothing to do with social media.
Yeah.
She's had an Instagram account for 2.5 years, and she has 6 pictures on it.
Well, to be fair, it could be her Finsta.
That's true.
Could be a Finsta.
So, but video is where it's at right now. But I'm not saying don't change it up. You still need to put statuses up. You still need to link articles that you find
you
provide
can't be
value.
Just video.
Exactly.
But
you mix it up.
Adding to the mix because it has the immediacy, it has the color and the personal element of it. And it also, the algorithm. The algorithm loves video. So you're going to get your reach.
Facebook will push it out like it's crazy.
It will. And the best way, the craziest results I've ever seen from an ad was when I did a Facebook Live with a client. I waited a little while to let it get up to like a couple hundred views. Then I turned that into an ad. Mm-hmm. And I got a penny per view. It was just incredible results.
Yep. All the ad systems are incorporating video into it also. Mm-hmm. Now the biggest thing I'll tell you right now, because some people are putting out ads to go back to a Facebook Live to like watch, and it could be a 20-minute Facebook Live or something like that. Mm-hmm. Your video ad should be no longer than 30 seconds. You want enough to grab them, and believe it or not, you gotta have the stuff on the bottom or wherever your words pop out, because in video ads, and you should do it if you put up pre-recorded things also, because people are watching some of these things without the volume on. They're scrolling through, but if they see a keyword or something there, that can stop them, and that can make them punch in and listen further.
I do that with my midweek minute, which I didn't do this week because life, but I do that with my midweek minute because I figure a lot of people are going to watch something like that with the sound off. These Friday videos, social, I haven't been doing because that's a long time to look through the captions for, but I need to start. I know I do.
But you know what's funny? If you watch my LinkedIn ones, I don't caption the whole thing. I caption my name and company when I say it. I caption that my series is called A Tip and a Question. When I say it, a tip and a question appears. When I give my tip, it shows up and then it goes away and I explain it. And then my question shows up and then it goes away. That's it.
It's an art.
It's just enough to get people to say, oh, tip and a question? Oh, what's this? To get into it. Yes, I watch people do the closed captions and all these things, and it's every single word.
Even the awkward ones.
Yes. And guess what? I don't think it's necessary, in my view. I think you need enough. You want them to listen, not read.
Yes.
Because if they're just going to read the captions, you might as well just write a blog. That's
a good point.
It goes back to our senses.
I got to up my own game on that. All right. So, in summary, are there any particular tips that you want to kind of have? Sorry, what's happening? Sorry. Are there any particular tips that you want to give to people who are intimidated by video, who are scared of doing it, who know they have to do it for their business, but just...
I'm going to give the tip my youngest daughter gives. Yes, my youngest daughter gives tips. She was on Periscope 2 years ago with me, and she decided she wanted to give her 5 best tips of how to use Periscope for business. Her number one tip had me hysterical laughing inside. I was being good because I didn't want to be loud because it was her show. The camera is your friend. There's no reason to be afraid of it.
That's a good point. It wants you to do well. It's rooting for you.
Be yourself. Just be you. Because look at it this way. If you are in a business, especially a local business, and people are going to meet you in person, you need to be the same camera that you are off camera.
That's huge.
This isn't because think about, Christine, when we finally met, I was the same person, wasn't I?
Yep.
Corny, crazy, whatever. That's just my personality, and that's the way I am on camera. I'm not going to change for that because that's who they're going to meet.
Yeah.
How many times do you get a business card from a realtor and you look at the picture and you look at the realtor and the picture's 10 years old?
It's like 20 years. Yeah, absolutely. I've met people.
Same type of thing.
I meet people at events and I get their card and I look them up on LinkedIn and I'm like, I'm not sure that that's the same person.
Yep.
That I met.
But it's the same thing with video. You got to be the same online as you are offline. So however you talk in your networking meetings, when you meet people at the supermarket and you're talking about your business or whatever else, that's the same way. Look at the camera and just talk. Just talk.
Amen. I'm going to be... Sorry, go ahead.
The biggest thing. No, that's the biggest thing. It's really the only thing. Have good lighting, yes. Have a mic that's good. I can give all the technical tips that you want, but that doesn't help the person.
No.
And guess what? You need to practice. There's cheat ways to practice. Do you know that you can go on Facebook Live, and before you hit go live, you can put it to just yourself?
Ooh.
Literally, that the public will not see it, your friends will not see it. Put it on just you where it says me. Do your Facebook Live, and it'll show up on your timeline, but you're the only one who sees it, and then delete it.
Yep.
So you can practice.
Or if it was good, don't delete it and change the settings.
Sorry, there's a truck going by.
Change
the settings. There you go.
We actually have to wrap up anyway. But thank you so much. Everybody should certainly check out your blog, The Social Leader. In particular, there's a blog post that you turned into a presentation that was the 22 ideas for video, which I'll link to in the comments here. That was great. Looking forward to a follow-up. And also, again, on LinkedIn, that series you're starting with a tip and a question. It's really great. I loved the one from this morning. Why don't you share that?
Well, the one this morning, I think, was the one I was talking about. Easy. Nothing is easy.
Oh, no. Maybe it was yesterday's then. The one about the 20 seconds.
Was that. Oh, the 20 seconds of courage.
Yes.
I was watching the movie the other night. I was flipping channels, and it was the movie We Bought a Zoo. And
who knew wisdom would come from that? But
that's the whole thing. Anytime you're out and about, anytime you're reading a magazine, a book, watching a TV show, something can click with you, and it's like, that kind of goes along with my business thinking. And I heard him say it, and I've seen the movie before, and I just did it. And next thing I know, I said, that's what I'm doing for my tip in a series. And it's 20 seconds of insane courage or bravery. And then I said, or maybe 1 to 2 minutes, we'll and video, do the break, and guess what happens? You might get engagement, and you might get things that happen.
But all you need is that burst of bravery, that burst of courage. It's all you need. And just be yourself.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Well, thank you so much.
Definitely check it out. Yeah.
Thank you so much to Robert C. Stern of The Social Leader for being yourself. And
if I can't be me, who's going to?
Exactly. And that's your point of difference.
Hmm.
Which is the sort of thing I'll be going over in actually a personal branding e-course that I'm going to be launching this fall. So stay tuned for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, this has been Social with Christine Gritmon Inc. and my guest Robert C. Stern of The Social Leader. And thank you so much, Robert, for coming on. I'm glad we finally got this together.
Not a problem. I hope to see you again, and we'll get you
Yes,
back on my show, Conversation Live, one of these days.
I am in.
You got it.
Thanks.